Okay, so this night is very scary because um, there's this man trying to get inside the house. So I hear a knock. Me and the nurse is inside the room, and I hear someone's knocking. So at first I ignore it because I thought it's nothing, and then I keep on hearing the knock. Then so I go beside the door, and I did not open the door because it is 11 p.m. and I look at the peephole, and then I saw a guy, and then he said, open the door. And then I said, who are you? I don't know you. And then he said, just open the door. And then he tell his name. I will not tell his name. So he tell his name, and then I said, I don't know you. I will not open the door. And then he said, just open the door. I will tell you something. And then I said, what do you want? I don't know you. And then I was looking at the doorknob, and then he's trying to open the door. And then I said, I said to him that it's late. It's really late. I will not open the door. And then he kept on telling me to open the door, and then he told me the apartment number. And then I said, no, that is not the apartment number. That is not our apartment number. This is different apartment number. And then he said, I know, just open the door. I will tell you something. Open the door, open the door. And then so I'm freaking out. And by the time that someone calls him, and then he go outside, and then that's the time that I get my phone, and I called Marcus, and then I'm shaking, I'm crying. What did I tell you?
So she calls me, and I'm driving, you know, and so she calls me, and it's a little bit after 11. Doesn't matter. So I pick up, and yeah, she's crying. She's telling me that there's a man outside the door that is trying to get inside, and you know, he's trying to turn the knob and stuff like that. And I'm just telling him, like, do not open the door. You know, there's nobody that should be coming at the house at this time of night. You know, don't open the door. Just keep the door shut, keep the door locked, and call 911. And she's like, what? And you know, this is the part that really kind of, I was like, okay, just hang up with me and call 911. And you were like shivering, and you wouldn't say anything. And I'm like, honey, pay attention, listen to me. Like, hang up the phone and dial 911. Because I knew that, you know, the sooner she calls, you know, the sooner the police will show up, and the sooner, you know, they can get all this taken care of, you know? There's no chance of a guy to, you know, try to break in if they know the cops are being called on them and stuff like that. Cops are out here pretty fast and stuff. There's literally a police station right down the road from us. So that's all I was thinking about. And she finally hangs up, and I told her, because I don't think she was going to call 911 like right away. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to call 911. I was all the way out in a whole different county from where she was. So I called 911. It's not the county we live in. And I speak to this lady, and she's like, you know, what's your address? She didn't ask me what my emergency was. She says, what's your address? And I give them our address, and she's like, okay, well, I'll transfer you to that police department. So she puts me on three-way, transfers me to the police department, and I hear a long, I mean, it's basically ringing, and then I hear a long message saying, this is the so-and-so county police department. Please stay on the line. You know, we will answer you as soon as we get to you, or something. It just kept saying that over and over again. It would ring 3 times, and it would say that same message. So she's still on three-way with me. And while I'm on the hold, I'm like I'm talking to myself, but I mean, she can hear me, and I'm like, because you guys picked up right away, but now you transfer me to this county where they're not that responsive, you know? Like, thank God I'm not being chased by an axe right now. So I'm basically still being on hold, you know, and it's probably been like a good 3 minutes, and I'm like, you know, what are we gonna do here? So the lady was like, look, I'll give you another number. So she gave me a different number to call for the county, and it was like the administrative number. So I called that number as I'm coming home. Because at this point, I'm just driving home now because I'm thinking, you know, I just want my wife to be safe. I want my daughter to be safe, and I didn't want the door to be kicked in, you know. Even though I think you at that time you told me that he had already left at that point.
Yeah.
You told me that he was gone and that you didn't see him.
Yeah, because
even if he had disappeared, I didn't want to leave the chance that he was maybe around the corner, just waiting for you to check and see if everything was clear. But I also was thinking that, you know, if I call the police can show up. They can see the prints and stuff, the fingerprints that are on the doorknob and on the door. And, you know, just see if there was anything that they could, you know, any leads to the person. And so I told the lady, I told him everything that you told me, that the person, but yeah, I basically said that, hey, you know, I just want some cops over there so we can get fingerprints of the door, whatever, just in case, you know. So the lady says that she's going to go ahead and scramble police there, and by this time I'm already probably about like 3 minutes away from our place, and I'm just going down the road, and I call you and I let you know that the police are on their way, and you're like, why did you call the police? I'm like, well, why wouldn't I call the police? Come on now. I know you're scared and stuff like that, but the police are the people to call. You don't want to call a relative. You don't want to call, you know, anybody that you think would come over here to help us and stuff. The people you want to call are the police.
Cause that time I'm afraid, I'm worried because me and Daenerys only here in the house, and then I keep on looking at the door. I keep on looking at the patio. As in I'm switching door patio, and then Daenerys is crying, and then I don't know what to do, and then at the back of my mind I was thinking that what if he opened the door, he's tried to open the door, and then he comes in. What will I do? I really don't know. And then
do you have a kitchen full of knives next time?
And then
arm yourself with a knife or something.
And then I was thinking, who's his family or relatives that's near to our house, so I can call them so that they can come here and then to accompany me. Because I really don't know what to do. This is the first time. It happens to me.
And I told you, call 911. I gave her 3 numbers to call. I said, call 911. That's all you gotta do.
And then this is your first time to call 911, right?
Yeah. I'm 36 years old, never had to call 911 in my life. And I'm telling her to call it because I know that if she calls it, it will show up in this county.
Cause I'm afraid I don't know what to do. You know the feeling that I'm stuck up. I cannot think what is right to do because I'm stuck up.
Yeah,
I don't know
and
what
I
to
told
do.
you, but I told you over the phone what you should do.
So
and next time, just take a deep breath and just think about protecting our daughter and protecting yourself as well.
So the cops came here. Marcus is here, and then when
let me tell that part. Cause so I get to the gate, and there's one cop. Okay, so I told the lady at the dispatch that, cause she called me and she was like, "Hey, the cops are there. What's the gate code?" And I told him, you know, just search my name, and it will ring to my phone, and then I will buzz you in. Well, I guess they couldn't figure that out. Because by the time I get to my gate, there's one cop in a cop car that's at the keypad, and there's another cop that's like blocking anybody getting into the gate. So I pull up and I roll my window down, and one of the cops looks at me, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the one who called you guys." And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "What's the emergency?" I'm like, "We gotta get in there. My wife is in there." So I give the officer my wallet because I have a key card in my wallet. I was like, "Just hold it up to that keypad, and that should let you through." So he's the first one to go through. The guy gives me back my wallet, whatever. I pull up, put my key card through, let the other officer go through. They both go through the gate and they wait for me to go through. So I go through, past both the cops, and we head towards the house. I park my car, and then both cops, they park their cars behind me, and we start walking towards the house. And by this time, you're already on the patio.
Yeah, because I saw you in the cops.
And I told you everything was okay. We get inside, and actually before we get inside, the cop goes to the door, and he's like looking at me, like knocking on the door and everything. I'm like, I have a key. I was like, but do you want to get prints on the doorknob? He's like, no, just open it, whatever. So I was like, okay. So I grabbed the doorknob with my shirt like this because I don't want to touch the doorknob. I'm like, gosh, guys, it's like, you can go back and get prints. But anyway, I guess I watched too many cop shows and too many movies, but they weren't concerned with getting fingerprints.
You will erase the fingerprints because you use the clothes.
Well, they weren't gonna do it anyway. So anyway, I go inside, and you're there, and you're shaking, so I hold you.
I'm crying.
Yeah, so we tell the cop what happened,
And then, so here we go, because I told you, like, this is my first time. It happens to me for 36 years. This is the first time that I met a cop face to face, and then tell the cops what happened. And then, so I did not know what is the protocol for that, for the police. So we're inside, and then I told the cops what happened. So I'm crying, I'm shaking, and I hugged Marcus. And then after that, the other cops, went to the apartment that I mentioned. And then they knock, and then they said, "Police, open the door." And then they asked the name, and then that guy said, "Yes, it's me." And then I heard it. They asked, "Did you knock someone's door?" And then that guy said, "No, I did not." And then, did you hear it? Yeah. He said he did not.
He denied it.
He did not. And then, so the other cops is in here. In our house, and then the other cops is on the other apartment. And then, so this is what happens, that the cops told us to go outside and then look if that is the person that I saw. And then I said, I cannot see him, he's wearing white. And then the cop said, "Shh." So meaning I did not know that I cannot say anything because that guy will hear my voice or whatsoever, because this is my first time. I don't know what's the protocol. And then the other cops pull the guy so I can see him. And then I said, "Yeah, that's what." And then we come inside the house, and then, so it is false alarm. Good thing. I'm thankful and thank God it is a false alarm.
It was a false alarm only because our neighbor was drunk. He was drunk and trying to find his way home, and he just mistakenly knocked on our door and didn't go downstairs to his door.
And then the cop said he knocked on another door. I did not know that.
Yeah, apparently he knocked on another neighbor's door and got it wrong before I guess the third time was the charm. Find his
But
way.
that makes me freaking out, because when I said that is not our apartment number, and then he said, I know, open the door. I opened the door, I will tell you something. He keeps on insisting, and then he keeps on opening the door, so it freaks me out.
Well, you did the right thing. You never ever. I mean, I have keys and you have keys. That's it. The only people that need to be coming through this door, and maintenance, of course. But that's it. Don't open the door for anybody. If anyone's like, oh, I know your husband. He's a good friend of mine. He sent me over here because he needed me to tell you something. If I'm going to tell you something, I'm just going to tell you, honey. I'm going to call you. I'm not going to text you, because what do I always say? What do I always say? Tell them about texting.
Don't text while you're driving.
Yes, I don't text while I'm driving. So, I mean, even when you text me while I'm driving, I'm just going to call you. And I need you to answer your phone, because I will not text you back while I'm driving.
And then I was thinking that time, because Marcus' dad got killed, like in the same situation, but that time, it is a real robbery.
Yeah, well,
Like
it was an armed robbery, and yeah, my dad, he basically, being the nice guy that he was, he let in a stranger, and yeah, it cost him his life. But, you know, I'm glad that today it was just a false alarm, and, you know, you and Daenerys are safe. But just let that be kind of like a warning, you know, to everybody else that, you know, don't open the door to strangers.
Yeah.
Don't open the door if you don't know who the person is. Even if you know who the person is, you know, and you're not expecting guests, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. Especially at night. You know?
Yeah, especially at night. Don't just open the door. Just you can speak to that person outside because they can hear you, and if there is something that they can tell, they wanted to tell you, they can tell it to you because you can hear one another. That's why when I think I told him that, what do you need? Tell it to me. And then I said, open the door so I can tell it to you. So why not he just tell me, because we're talking, right? Why he wanted me to open the door. So
trying to understand a drunk man's logic is definitely another video for another time. But I will say that the cop, you know, what he said is, you know, don't ever open your door. Someone you don't know, if they're like, oh, you know, I'm a friend of your husband's, whatever, you know, or I know Marcus, if they say anything like that, you know, still, don't open the door. And at the same time, you know, if a person knocks on your door and you're and someone's there, most of the times they'll just leave. But if they know that nobody's there, then they'll kick in the door. So, you know, it's really best to, if someone knocks on your door, make a lot of noise. Make it sound like there's a lot of people in the house, because 9 times out of 10 they will not break into your house, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm just so glad that my wife is safe, that my daughter is safe, and that nothing really came of this. You know, it's just a scare, you know. But I think it was good. It needed to happen, because now I think the next time if that happens, you'll have a better idea of what you should do. You know, you're not gonna just call me or try to call one of my family members, because guess what? That's not gonna help you at all. Who's gonna help you? A police officer will help you. You know?
I guess I don't know what to say.
Tell them what you told me. That's really easy. Just pretend like they're me. Just don't call them honey, and you'll be okay.
I hope there is 911 now in the Philippines. I heard there is 911. So they will just call 911, and all over the Philippines has specific police for every area. Because it's very important that you have one call number, 3-digit, and then you will not like, okay, this is the contact number for this district, this is the contact number for this district for the police.
Because too much to keep track of.
Yeah, because it's so
especially
hard to it's so hard to remember. And also, yeah, when you are panicking, when you are stressed, freaking out, you don't know what to do. Your mind is blacked out, like me. It's totally blacked out. So it's very important that there is only one specific contact number for the entire Philippines, so they can call it, and then different police on the district area.
So tomorrow, for extra added security, we're gonna go get a chain for our door, because I think right now we just have the deadbolt lock, you know. But I mean, we could probably look at the little latch thing, or maybe the chain to go over the door, just for added security. Just because, even if someone, you know, does kick the door open, they won't be able to kick it off of the chain or the lock thing.
You need to buy two. Up and down. Because I'm really afraid.
Well,
so
everything's okay.
So
probably gonna get her like a machete or something, you know, just to keep in the house for her own safety. You know how to wield a machete, right?
Huh?
Machete. It's a long knife, like a jungle knife. Somebody used to like hack and slash at bamboo.
I don't like that. I don't want to hurt someone.
You don't want to hurt the intruder?
I don't know if I can do that. So I'm making this video. Sorry, I'm making this video to share you guys what happens to us. This is real. This is a real scene.
She's not that good of an actress, alright? This is real.
This is real scene. So at least you know that I hope it will not happen, but there is a possibility. That's why we wanted to share it to you guys. At least you know what to do. But I hope it will not happen. At least you have an idea. And yeah, so I'm so glad and thankful that we're safe. Nothing happened, nothing bad things happen, and it's only a drunk neighbor.
Yeah. So guys, yeah, let's I guess say let's try to manage our alcohol a little bit better too. Let's cut it off after a couple drinks, you know, because if you have too much and you start going outside.
Yeah, when the cops told me that maybe tomorrow morning that guy will come here and then apologize, I told Marcus, I will tell that guy, if you want to drink, if you want to drink, just stay inside your house. Stay inside your house. Don't get out.
Yeah.
Because you will disturb another tenant, you know.
I kind of wish that he was still out when I got here, but it's okay.
So that's it. It's very scary night, but thank you Lord, we're safe. So that's guys. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.